Grandpa's feeling a little frisky today. Let me say something to all you and be as clear and concise as possible. Bud Light and Anheuser-Busch. Have a terrific day.
Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So after that legendary moment where Kid Rock uses what looks like an actual assault weapon, that you can call an assault weapon, and shoots up a whole stack of Bud Light. After that iconic moment that many of us love him for, apparently he's selling Bud Light again at his bar. Now, it had been noted that although many people came forward, including some celebrities, saying that they were not going to sell Bud Light anymore at their establishments, some of them still, were still selling Anheuser-Busch products. So it wasn't like they banned all of their products.
And they're banking on the fact that, as mad as some people are about the Bud Light, they're still going to drink all their other titles because they either are not going to notice that they're Anheuser-Busch, or, like I said, they're going to go back to being creatures of habit and drinking their beer of choice. And to show you exact proof of that, do you remember the big performative thing that Kid Rock did where he shot up a bunch of Bud Light cans? Said he was going to pull Bud Light from all of his restaurants? He did. But he's still serving Budweiser and all of the other Anheuser-Busch titles. John Rich, who also postured all big about pulling the Bud Light from his restaurants, not only did he pull Bud Light from his restaurants, but he made a giant American flag. The Bud Light cans he still had were covered with stars to make up the stars of the flag. Hey, we are American here. We are not having Bud Light in my restaurants. We are covering them with Americana. But let's look closer at what that flag actually had. Oh, look at that. Uncovered Budweiser cans.
So maybe the Bud Light has kind of slipped back in again? I don't know. So you know how people on social media are essentially detectives, and some photos have emerged. People have been sharing photos where at his bars, there is Bud Light present. Where did they get the Bud Light from? So let's get into the story. Kid Rock's bar has recently been selling Bud Light, according to a report, despite the singer's viral video that showed him shooting up cans of beer in response to its ill-fated partnership with transgender influencer Dylan Mulvaney. Last month, a Twitter user shared a photo of the menu at Kid Rock's Honky Tonk in Nashville, which shows Bud Light and Bud Light Lime on offer under the watering hole's selection of domestic beers. There was also an image of a Bud Light bottle sitting on top of the bar. Nice that you shot up the Bud Light, but it's still in your bar, the user wrote in a tweet after tagging Chris Rock, who didn't respond. Wow, what is going on? Neither Kid Rock nor the bar could immediately be reached for comment. Yeah, I wonder why. That is not a good look. So let's look at the photos. Okay, so this is his bar. Oh, I mean, I would have liked to visit that bar if I'd, happened to be in Nashville. And this is the menu. So he's clearly selling this beer. Now, again, I understand how some places, they still sell Anheuser-Busch products. The gay bars had enough wherewithal to ban all of Anheuser-Busch products. But, some people, maybe it's just not practical to say you're not going to sell any Anheuser-Busch products because they basically, like most of the beers seem to be Anheuser-Busch. Again, these companies, they don't think these boycotts last long because they never do. They never usually do. So maybe he's just a typical customer. Oh, I'm going to boycott it for a couple of weeks and then go back to sneak it back in. That's what has happened. Or maybe him not selling these products has really affected his business. I don't know. Is it selling? That's what I want to know. This is Nashville. I would think people aren't buying Bud Light there. So again, why is it on the menu? And Bud Light at the bar. And I doubt that's somebody who snuck in a bottle. Who does that? No one does that these days. So yeah, it's on the menu. So clearly at his bar, they're still selling Bud Light. Despite Rock's cry for a boycott, patrons of his Nashville-based bar are discovering that the 52-year-old may be talking 52? I thought he was much older. It's called himself Grandad. It's because he called himself Grandad. That's why I assumed he was much older. Anyway, despite Rock's cry for a boycott, patrons at his Nashville-based bar are discovering that the 52-year-old may be talking the talk, but not walking the walk. Clearly. Yet another user took to Twitter to share a photo of Rock's honky tonk and wrote, "You're visiting Nashville and yes, you can buy Bud Light at Chris Rock Bar. Unreal." I called him, oh my gosh, have I been calling him Chris Rock this whole time? "We're visiting Nashville and yes, you can buy Bud Light at Kid Rock Bar. Unreal." The honky tonk online menu also shows it's offering Bud Light, both in its original and lime-flavoured variations. Since Rock's video, the once most popular beer has tumbled from its #1 spot and is now selling less than water in some American warehouses. Andy Wagner, the manager and 18-year veteran of Glenn Miller's Beer and Soda Warehouse in Lemonade, Pennsylvania, told the New York Times last week that a 30-pack of Miller Lite was selling for $24.99, while a 30-pack of Bud Light was priced at $8.99 after a rebate. Wow. And he said, "At this point, it's cheaper than some of the cases of water we're selling in the back." Wagner said, "It's just not moving like it used to. It's not that they stopped drinking beer, they just stopped buying Bud Light." He said Bud Light's parent company, Anheuser-Busch, broke the bar rules, meaning no politics, no religion. Ahead of the 4th of July weekend, Bud Light sales remained stuck in a downward spiral, plunging 27.9%. The week ended June 24, and that was slightly better than its record worst 28.5% the previous week, according to data from Nielsen IQ and Bump Williams Consulting. The number of units sold plummeted 31.3% from the same time last year, ahead of the critical Independence Day holiday, worse than the 31.1% decline the previous week. Yeah, so even 4th of July holiday wasn't enough to help revive the brand. It's the biggest beer holiday in terms of retail sales, and it was worse than ever for Bud Light. So, yep, doesn't look good for Bud Light, but apparently Kid Rock has decided to sneak the beer back in, or maybe it never left. Maybe it never left. Right, so let's take a look at his menu. Right, go to menu. Local beers. Where's the domestic? I mean, it's true. Of all of that selection, is this really necessary? I mean, is he losing that much money by not serving Bud Light when people aren't buying it anyway? So why would it be back on the menu? Again, I don't know if it ever left. It may not have ever left. He's just venting, shooting up the cans, and then carried on as normal. Or maybe he's just allowing people to boycott it themselves. But obviously people, someone's buying it because there was a bottle on the bar there. I'm wondering if they're all selling Bud Light again, to be honest. Just looking at the menu, I'm getting hungry looking at this. So, that is pretty disappointing, especially as he was so instrumental in the whole boycott movement. That was an iconic moment. Many people found it hilarious, but now it's a matter of, are you going to put your money where your mouth is, or you just all talk? Clearly, if he's selling the beer again, it was just all a show for nothing. Or maybe he just boycotted it for a couple of weeks and then just forgot about it. I don't know how selling Bud Light is helping his business. I really don't. When people are not buying it, especially in Nashville. But we saw there was somebody who bought Bud Light. However, we look at the data, we look at their sales, we look at their stock. The boycott clearly is working. It's a significant number of people who are boycotting. So I don't think this is a sign that the boycott is over. I wouldn't go that far. So we shall see if he responds. The fact that he hasn't responded is quite telling, because he could have been like, oh, I haven't changed my menu because it costs too much money to change the menu. We just tell customers, no one orders it anyway, so we didn't bother changing the menu. He could have said that, but he hasn't responded. So it's kind of like a sign of, ooh, you got caught. Because people on social media are just posting photos. Now, in other Bud Light news, they have tweeted again, but of course it didn't go well, as you would expect. So the most recent tweet 18 hours ago, how it feels to walk back into work after 4th of July festivities. All of these tweets is just, you're not addressing the elephant in the room. Never underestimate the power of a makeshift mister. Happy 4th, everyone. So 4th of July was when I started tweeting again. It's the 4th of July weekend. Enjoy some beer. Oh dear. Yeah, anything but Bud Light. There we go. That's the beer that people are enjoying. Yingling. Uh-oh. Whoops. And yes, we need this reminder actually. Just a friendly reminder of what brands are owned by Anheuser-Busch. So I'm going to read the responses that this article highlighted. My family always called it Independence Day. This year, I guess it's independence from politically active beer too. One user commented. Yes, we don't want politically active beer. Another Twitter user wrote, enjoy some brands that don't belong to Anheuser-Busch. Make sure the beer you drink from now on does not fall under their market share. The Twitter user posted a graphic promoting Yingling, the family-owned beer headquartered in Pennsylvania. Yingling is one of the several rival brands that have seen their sales soar in the weeks since Mulvaney touted Bud Light to millions of followers on Instagram and TikTok. So all their competitors have seen an increase in sales while theirs continue to plummet. And I've not seen one positive comment. Oh no. That is... I'm not even going to comment on that. Like, this is... people on the internet. Oh, lips of TikTok. I don't drink beer, but if I did, it would not be Bud Light. We didn't forget. Absolutely. Scott said, but, I had a great day planned for us, having a delicious Chick-fil-A sandwich and washing it down with a tasty Bud Light, and heading over to Target for some satanic clothes shopping, and maybe even a tuck bathing suit. Oh, hell no. Anytime I go to the store, your garbage is always fully stocked. Yeah, that everyone is seeing this in their stores. And I mean, I'll have a quick look at this section. Oh, nope. Went to the hidden section and the first tweet was inappropriate for YouTube. So I'm not going to go through the hidden section, but you get the point. So why do you think Chris Rock is Kid Rock. So why do you think Kid Rock is selling Bud Light again? Did he ever seriously boycott it in the first place? So let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Take care of yourselves and God willing, I will see you in the next video.